Hello, everyone, and welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to another episode of the Global Freedom Conversations Live. And happy and blessed Monday to everyone, or happy and blessed
Yes.
Tuesday if you're ready on Tuesday. What is our topic for today, Patsy?
Topic for today is welcome to the Global Freedom Conversations Live. Our topic for today's episode 47, why a growth mindset can change the direction of your future.
Yes, that's right. So that's what we're going to be talking today. So thank you, Patsy. But before we dive into our topic, let us introduce ourselves. So, hi, everyone. My name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but currently residing in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor.
And my name is Patsy. Originally, I am from Brunei. Now I'm residing in Edmonton, Alberta. And I'm a mother of four and grandmother of nine. And today I am a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Thank you, Patsy. Okay, so let's dive into our topic for today.
Today's topic is why a growth mindset can change the direction of your future.
Yes, so that's what we're going to be talking today. So, welcome back to another episode of the Global Freedom Conversations Live. So, and happy and blessed Monday for those who are Monday, and happy and blessed Tuesday for those who are on Tuesday. So, today's conversation is about one of the most powerful changes any one of us can make, and that is no changing where we live, but it's not also changing our circumstances or not changing but changing the way we think. Okay. So it's very important to be able to understand that, our mindset influences our decisions. And our decisions are influence our actions. So whatever our decision we do, that's how we're gonna be taking action, right? But also we have to understand that our actions also shape our future. So if we decide not to do something, then guess what? Nothing's gonna happen. But if we decide to do something, then there's going to be change. So today we'll discuss two reasons why developing a growth mindset can change the direction of your future. And for that, we're going to be talking about the following points.
Uh, Today's point is first one is a growth mindset helps you see possibilities instead of limitations. And second, a growth mindset encourages consistent progress.
That's right, Patsy. So that's what we're going to be talking today. So let's find out what is our first point. So the first point is a growth mindset helps you see possibilities instead of limitations. Okay. One of the biggest difference between people who continue growing and those who remain stuck is not talent, is not education, is not even experience. It's often their mindset. A growth mindset doesn't mean pretending life is easy or that challenges doesn't exist. It's not about that. It simply means choosing to believe what we can learn, what we can improve, and what we can become better over time. So, in other words, every time we are faced with challenges, it gives us two choices. Either we can focus on those limitations, or we can ask, what can this experience teach me? So, a lot of people with a growth mindset, they stay curious. They don't assume they already know everything. So instead, what do they do? They ask questions. They seek advice from other people. They look for ways to improve, to become better. And they also understand that every new lesson adds another tool to their toolbox. So the more lessons, the more experience, the more learning they get, guess what? They have more knowledge, they have more tools to talk, they have more skills to do. So it prepares them to face anything that is in front of them. but they also see mistakes differently. A lot of people see mistakes like a very bad thing, but instead of focusing on being a mistake, focus that mistake. When you shift that mindset, you start thinking, instead of, I fail on this, so I'm not good at this. You're gonna shift that mindset into, what can I learn from this experience so I can do better next time, right? So you don't focus on the failure, you focus on the learning, what you learn from it. That simple shift that you do on your mindset changes everything. Because when you stop seeing mistakes as the end of the story, which many of us do, at some point until we start developing our mindset, um, you you start seeing them, the mistakes, you start seeing them as part of the learning process. Okay, because they're always gonna teach you something. They're always gonna prepare you for the next time, for the next event that might be kind of similar. You will know how to react, because you become much more willing to try new things, and you're not gonna be scared of, just because I had a mistake, I'm not gonna do it anymore. No, you're gonna keep trying, because eventually, you're gonna do better and better and better. So, I can relate to this person, because for more than 25 years, I work in the film industry. I love my career, and it taught me incredible skills like organization, communication, leadership, problem solving, and working under pressure. But when the industry slowed down, I had a choice. Either I could focus only on what I had lost, or I could ask myself, what can I learn that might create new possibilities for my future? And that question is what changed my life. So instead of waiting, for my industry to come back, or thinking, oh, this, I lost my industry, now I don't know what to do. I ask my question, what can I can create new possibilities. So I've been thinking about 5 years, to find something that I can build on my own. So that was the window of opportunity. So it made me reflect. So I decided to learn digital skills that I had never imagined I would need, right? But I learned how to use social media in a completely different way. I learned how to create content. I learned how to do live videos, and I learned about branding, AI, marketing, communications, and leadership. So if you had told me years earlier that I'd be speaking to audiences around the world through live broadcasts several times a week, I probably would have laughed, because, I never imagined that. Not because I wasn't possible, but because I couldn't see it yet, you know. But learning changed what I was able to see. And that was a growth mindset. That's what growth mindset does. It doesn't magically remove those obstacles, but instead it helps you see possibilities that were hidden behind those obstacles that you couldn't see before. So I think many people watching today can relate to this. Maybe you have thought, oh, I'm too old, or technology isn't for me, or I've always done this way, I don't know enough. Those thoughts can feel very real. But what if, instead of asking those things or saying those things, what if you shift your mindset and say, why can I? Okay. Or what could I learn? So that one question shifts your focus from limitations to possibilities, because now you open two possibilities in front of you. Okay, so a growth mindset also reminds us that every expert was once a beginner. Okay, no expert started, knowing everything. They started always as a beginner, and we have heard so many stories from people, like Oprah, Tony Robbins, many of them. They were not experts at the beginning. So, so like we say, every person you admire had a first day, and a first mistake, and a first uncomfortable conversation, and a first presentation, a first lesson. But the difference is that they kept learning. Okay, and that's something every one of us can do. We don't have all the same background, we don't have all the same opportunities, but we all have the ability to remain teachable, to remain coachable, to stay curious, to ask questions, to develop new skills. And every time we do, our world becomes a little bigger than it was before. Guess what? Our confidence start to grow and our perspective start to expand. And opportunities begin to appear that we may not, before we couldn't notice them. So, as a reflection, there's a reflection that says the way you see today's challenges can influence tomorrow's opportunities. So, sometimes the opportunity isn't waiting for us to become more talented, it sometimes is waiting for us to become more willing to learn. So, here's my takeaway from this point. When you choose to keep learning, you begin seeing possibilities where you once saw limitations. Because the greatest changes in your future often begin with a simple decision to grow your mindset today. So that's what I wanted to share with you for this point. Now let's move on to the next point.
The next point. The next point is growth mindset encourages consistent progress. Um, Today, I want to talk about something that can completely change the direction of our lives, a growth mindset. Many people want change. They want better health, better relationship, greater confidence, financial stability, or new opportunities. But sometimes we become discouraged because we expect growth to happen quickly. The truth is, growth rarely happens overnight. Most meaningful change happens slowly, one step at a time. Think about learning any new skill, whether it's to use technology, improving your communication, starting a business, or developing healthier habits. It doesn't happen in a day. It happens through small, consistent steps, actions repeated over time. That's why a growth mindset is so important. A growth mindset believes that we can continue to learn, improve, and become better no matter where we are today. Every small improvement matters. Every lesson we learn builds confidence. Every challenge we overcome adds wisdom. Every experience, even difficult ones, teaches us something valuable. Sometimes when we think we need to make huge changes to move forward, but often it's the small decisions we make every day that create lasting transformation. Choosing to read a few pages of a book, choosing to learn something new, choosing to have a positive attitude, and when things don't go as planned, choosing to keep going when progress feels slow. Those small choices may not seem significant today, but over time they begin to shape who we become. The future we are hoping for is often built by decisions we make consistently day by day. And here's something encouraging: you don't have to be a completely different person overnight. You simply have to keep becoming a better version of yourself. A little bit more patient, a little bit more knowledgeable, a little bit more confident, and a little more willing to grow. The beautiful thing about personal growth is that it compounds. Small actions today can create big results tomorrow. So, if you feel like your progress is slow, don't be discouraged. Keep learning, keep improving, keep showing up because every small step forward is moving you closer to the person you want to become. A growth mindset teaches us that meaningful progress doesn't come from perfection, it comes from consistency. And when we commit to growing a little every day, those small actions eventually become extraordinary results. Thank you.
Thank you, Patsy. So Patsy just talked about a growth mindset encourage consistent progress. And I love something that Patsy mentioned. She say those shifts we make today, it might not show much today, But with the overtime, or with overtime, it shapes the person we are today. So just like an example, when you charge your phone every night, you don't expect one charge to last you forever, right? But those small daily charges that you keep doing every time, it keeps running it strong. And that's the same, just like those small daily improvements that you do every day, it keep you growing over time. So keep you becoming the person you want to be, a better, knowledgeable person. All right, so let's find out what is our key takeaway for this topic today.
Today's conversation reminds us that our mindset can become one of the greatest influences on the direction of our lives. When we remain willing to learn, when we stay curious, when we continue growing, we prepare ourselves for opportunities that we may not see today. Remember, your future is not determined only by your circumstances, it's also influenced by your willingness to continue learning, adapting, and growing. One positive decision, one new lesson, one step at a time.
Thank you, Patsy. Yeah, so that's our key takeaway for today. And now let's find out what is a reflective question for our audience.
As you reflect on today's conversation, ask yourself, what is one belief or habit you can change today that would help you grow into the person you want to become? Sometimes changing the way we think is the first step towards changing the direction of our future.
Yes, thank you, Patsy. Yes, so that's our reflective question for our audience. So we have arrived to the end of our life for today. So we hope so that to what we shared today, why a growth mindset can change the direction of your future will help you to start shifting your mindset. You know, to see things differently, to keep learning, to continue building, that new identity of yourself. So remember, a growth mindset doesn't ask, what if I can't? It asks, what can I learn instead, Because every small step you take today, it helps you to grow. It also has the power to change that direction for your future tomorrow. So there you go. So that's for this topic today. So now let's find out what is our topic for next episode.
Next Monday's topic, episode 38. The choices we make today shape the stories we tell tomorrow.
Yes, thank you, Patsy. So that's our episode for next week. So next Monday. So it will be a global conversation about curiosity, adaptability, continuous learning, and why investing in yourself is one of the greatest investment you can make. So that's it for today. So we hope so that you like what we shared today. And we want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live with us today. For those catching the replay, thank you so much. And to our community, thank you so much for being part of our community, for believing in us, and for engaging with our content. We want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Monday for those who are on Monday, and a happy and blessed Tuesday for those who are already on Tuesday, and a happy and blessed week ahead for everyone. So, thank you again for being here with us today, and we'll see you in our next episode of the Global Freedom Conversations Live. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Thank
God bless you all.
you. Bye bye.